Every Dollar. The Every Dollar app has helped millions of people work the baby steps and take the stress out of planning and managing their money. Start budgeting with Every Dollar for free right now. Just go to RamseySolutions.com/EveryDollar and download the app today. That's RamseySolutions.com/EveryDollar.
Look at this flipping person.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jay Marshall, and we are talking about your relationships, your money, your retirement, building wealth, the work that you do that you may or may not love. We're talking about everything. If you want to be on this show, give us a buzz at 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Let's go out to the home of Allison James in the Great Soundgarden, Seattle, Washington, and talk to Mike. What's up, Mike?
How you doing, guys?
We're good. What's happening to you?
Alright, so I'll try to keep it real brief. So I make really good money out here out in Washington, but super unhappy. I with the union, got depression, benefits, all that stuff, but super unhappy. So is my wife. She homeschools because the schools suck out here, and she wants to actually move out to Tennessee, not sure what area, but I know I'll make less money, and I'm wondering if that's the right move to make me happy, even though I'll make less money.
How much is your happiness worth? You tell me, what's the dollar amount?
Well, I currently make about $42 an hour out here, and so all the overtime, the double time, it's really good money. But I'm stuck in 2 hours of traffic every single day, only driving 38 miles to home, and the politics suck, the schools suck, there's nothing to do out here.
So, dude, go back to my original question. You give me a dollar amount, dude. Because let's be honest, like, for $1 million, objectively, there's not a lot I won't do. But, like, for $20, there's a lot I won't do. Right, so you tell me, what's your number?
Well, I mean, if I could make $30 an hour out there, I'd be happy because I know the cost of living is cheaper out there.
Well, that you're probably wrong on, but listen. Back up.
I don't know. I've never been out there yet, so.
Well,
okay.
Go ahead. No, you
Why
go.
we on?
Bro, get on a plane and come over here.
Well, actually, we are February or March.
It's too long. Because here's why. You've already broken up with your girlfriend that is where you live.
No. No, my wife.
No. I know. I'm making a metaphor. Okay.
Oh.
Pretend you're dating where you live. You've already broken up with her. She just doesn't know you. You hate there, and there is no price to pay for a husband and a father who hates his life, because his kids absorb that, his spouse absorbs that, and there's not a dollar amount for that. Leave.
Yeah.
The question is twofold. Number one, get on a plane, get on a Southwest flight, you and your wife, and come spend a weekend in Tennessee. It will confirm what you're thinking. It's amazing here. And do some research on the interwebs on how much all of this costs and what look for jobs. You're just sitting at home stewing. Work on the things you can actually control, and be aware, because the day you land here, you sign on the dotted line and you buy a home and you start your new job, you're going to walk by your rearview mirror and realize that you came with you.
Yep.
So if you're a person who's just kind of miserable and kind of hates everything, you're going to be kind of miserable and hate everything here. If you're actually a guy who's oriented toward positivity, you love your family, you love your kids, and you have some values that you want to be surrounded by, and you're just in a sick system, then yeah, man, you're going to be unleashed out here.
Yeah, and that's what I want. So I'm truly not happy out here, but I do love the money.
How'd you end up in Seattle? Where were you before Seattle, and how'd you end up there?
I was in Arizona, and my daughter from my ex was out here, and so we moved out here because I could make better money, and so I just been stuck here because of the money.
God, dude, hey, did you grow up with not very much?
Yeah, kind of.
Tell me about, how'd you grow up?
I grew up in a crappy family. I had so I joined the military right after I graduated high school.
Okay.
I've just been working jobs to job, making low-end money. And now that I'm making really good money, it's really hard for me to just let go of that.
It's hard because you attach your worth to a dollar amount. Like, since you were a little kid, that's been your ticket out. And what you've got in the meantime is a family who loves you. And you haven't internalized that that's worth way more than $1 per hour amount.
Very true. But also, I still got bills. And then we could sell our house. And then we got to come out there in February or March.
That's too long. Don't make your kids... Bro, don't make your kids have an angry, frustrated dad for 6 more months.
I mean, summertime, I provide, they're able to do certain things during the summer and keep me busy. But, so what I'm doing is that I'm cashing out my vacation. So when I take vacation at all, I'm cashing it all out, using that money to provide for the flight and the hotel.
Hey, Mike, why did you call us? You already know what you're going to do. Why'd you call us?
I just want to know if is it the right thing to do financially, or am I putting a mental block in it to stay here to provide, or go out there to be?
I think your arms are wrapped around the $1 per hour amount you make like it's a Snuggie, like it's a pacifier in a blanket. And that's the only thing that you look in the mirror and say, I have value and worth. You have a wife and kids looking at you saying, we love you, and you're like, yeah, y'all shut up, I make $42 an hour. And until you cross that great divide, bro, I don't even know how much money I don't even know how much money debt you have, I don't know we'll get to that. But none of that matters, because you don't think you're worth a damn other than that dollar amount. And I can't convince you of that on a 10-minute phone call.
Oh, I know, I agree.
But that's your cancer right now. Until you detach from that, you're going to live in a house where you hate driving to work, you hate the job you do, you hate driving home from work, you hate where your wife and kids live, but God bless us, we make $42 an hour. That's madness. It's insane.
I know.
It's an illness.
Yeah, I mean, such a house needs so much work, and...
God, shut up with all that! It doesn't matter! Doesn't matter!
I know.
All right, Jade, I'm gonna be less than nice, and I like Seattle, so go ahead.
You know what? I don't know why. My mind is going on another train right now, and I don't know if this message is really for you or for the folks listening because you called in, but I think sometimes we cling to the best scenario that we've ever had, thinking nothing like this will ever come along again. And in this case, maybe it's a money or a paycheck. And I think sometimes it's like, listen, you gotta, there's more where that came from. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's more where that opportunity came from. And I'm gonna just say it because I feel like it's in me to say it. Like, gifts come from God. Like, every good and perfect gift comes from God. So if you have this opportunity that was there before you, it's because it came from God, whether you believe in it or not. And that means there's more where that came from. And if you hold on to something so tight and don't believe that there's more where that came from, you lose track of really what the source of that is. And Seattle wasn't an opportunity. Arizona wasn't an opportunity. God provided the opportunity. And so wherever you go, there's opportunity. And so I just really want to let you know that. I don't know why. I know usually I'm here talking about dollars and cents, but that's what I feel like I'm supposed to tell you, so that's what I'm saying.
And I feel like I'm supposed to follow that up with, how do you like them apples, Mike?
No, I agree.
You don't agree. As soon as you get off the phone, you're gonna pull out your last pay stub and you're gonna go, oh, $40 an hour. Aren't we beautiful?
And you can make it again, and you can make more.
What if you made $52 an hour out here?
The what now?
What if you made $52? Yo, what? What if you made $50 an hour out here?
Oh, I would love to. It's just my job. If I were to transfer it, I know my pay would be cut in half over it. I'm what he would do. Right now, I can do other things.
Okay, listen. Here's your choice. Choose misery or choose joy. That's your choice. Choose misery or choose joy. Ta-da! That's your choice, brother. You got a wife and kids sitting in the wings waiting on you to make the call. This is the Ramsey Show. We'll be right back.
Don't rely on politicians or the healthcare system to do what you can do for yourself. We teach personal responsibility on the Ramsey Show, and that's why I'm excited to tell you how you can take your family's health into your own hands. A medical emergency kit from the Wellness Company. I got mine, and I can tell you this is not some rinky-dink first aid kit with Band-Aids. It comes with real prescriptions prepared by leading doctors to treat over 30 common illnesses. This kit can treat infections like strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and bronchitis because you have the prescriptions on hand like a Z-Pak, amoxicillin, or ivermectin. And if you start your meds faster, you get well faster. The kit gives you peace of mind. No doctor visits, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Wellness company, medical, emergency kits help put you in control of your family's health. So go to urgentcarekit.com/Ramsey, answer a few online questions, and get your kit rushed to your door. Use the promo code Ramsey for a 15% discount at checkout. That's urgentcarekit.com/Ramsey, promo code Ramsey.
This is the Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jane Warshaw. The best way to make the most of your money is by creating and sticking to a monthly budget. Big budgets. Well, listen, they'll save your life. Every dollar makes it simple to plan spending, track expenses, and save for what matters most to you. All in an easy-to-use app that fits inside your busy lifestyle. Keep a pulse on your spending and make progress on your money goals with every dollar. Download Every Dollar for free in the App Store or Google Play today. It's free. Why would you even try it out? It's free. Every Dollar app in the App Store. Every Dollar, the app in the App Store or Google Play today. All right, let's roll out to Lexington, Kentucky, and talk to sweet Caroline. What's up, Caroline?
Hi, Cliff, Carolyn.
Oh, my bad. Not sweet, Caroline. Not sweet. What's up?
We had a very bad situation last year. We had just moved to Kentucky. My husband and I were out walking on our property with our little 8-pound puppy. Our dog was attacked like 9 feet away from us by the Belgian Malinois next door. We had to deal with...
Wait, hold on. Is it the Belgian what?
Malinois.
What is that?
I
Like
only
a
know
big dog?
Belgian waffles. Yeah, what is that?
It's a police dog that the neighbor next door had.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
And
it's a
somehow
big, giant dog.
It's a very big dog, and he got over the fence and attacked our pet, our boy.
Okay.
4 days later, he died. But it was $9,000 in veterinarian bills. Yeah, it's awful. In fact, there are no words to describe it. The neighbor paid all but $1,500 because we felt sorry for him. So he paid all but $1,500 of the vet bill, which was good, but that was, as you can see, it was extremely expensive, as well as being the worst thing that ever happened. Now, my husband is saying that we need pet insurance in case, God forbid something like that happened again. The neighbor got rid of the dog, by the way. But we didn't know things like this could happen, having moved from a condo in California. Well, the insurance is $30 per month per dog. And we lived on a fixed income now, and we're halfway. He wants to get the insurance, and I'm thinking we ought to just save up some money.
How many dogs do you have?
We currently have 2 other puppy dogs.
Okay. And you told me, I just want to make sure I'm clear. You said out of the $9,000 of vet bills, he paid all but $1,500.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I hate that you lost your pet. That really does. That sucks. I can't imagine coming home and knowing that something like that happened to my dog. So, for the money side of it, here's what my brain thinks of. This is something that happened. It was a random occasion. You went your whole life probably with pets and nothing like this ever happened. So I wouldn't let this one terrible thing happening inform how you do things going forward, thinking this could happen again. And then, so I would not do the insurance, but I would say, okay, what would happen if I just put $30 aside per pet each month and I always had an emergency fund for my pets? What would that look like?
That would be about $700 that we would have to save per year.
Yeah.
Now, that that's a great amount of savings, but we are living on a fixed income where even that, whether I spend it on saving it or pet insurance.
Well, what's the difference?
Money out of our...
The fixed, I guess what I'm saying is the fixed income part doesn't matter. You're either saving the $30 or you're not.
Or the deeper question is, you can't afford this. I mean, even if we said, yeah, go get pet insurance, you can't afford it.
Yeah, the $30
That's
about
what I'm
that.
thinking, but he's thinking anything to to avoid, to be prepared, actually, to be prepared for something that happen.
Do you guys have any money saved?
We have about 13K in the 3 to 6 months.
Okay. And do you not feel like if something, you know, like I said, something bizarre, like what took place happens, something that you're completely not expecting, like a dog attacking your dog, do you not feel like that what kind of falls under the umbrella of an unforeseen emergency? I guess I'm just trying to figure out why what you have in place is not enough.
Well, I guess we haven't figured that could have been used for an emergency like that. Of course, that would wipe it out. God forbid it should happen again.
Yeah, but you're living in a state of what ifs, and I do feel like I think there's two things that you can have financially in place that will help you, and then I do want to turn it over to John, because I think for you, having a sinking fund that's always there for pet maintenance, whether it be, you know, their yearly checkup or things like that, whatever you take them to the vet, having a sinking fund there for that's not part of your emergency fund is a good thing probably for you guys to have, and maybe that's you just putting aside, like I said, $30 a month. And you have your emergency fund for the things that are truly emergencies that pop up. And maybe you and your husband, maybe you decide, hey, when it comes to pets, this is what we're willing to spend and this is where the buck stops. Because there is something about that you don't want to put your own well-being at risk for the risk of a pet.
Well, okay.
Here's the other
It's a hard truth.
Here's the other side of it, or the extended side. I just had one of my professors and mentors, Andy Young, Dr. Andy Young, was on my show this morning, and he was just here in town. He's actually the guy that gave me the language, facts are your friends when you're dealing with trauma. I mean, he's the guy who trained me on crisis intervention. Okay? And so under that guise, I want to walk through, like, we know that when you experience a big, nasty, messy trauma like you experienced, it was terrifying, it was scary, it was bloody, it was a mess. And then there's a couple of days of touch and go, and then your sweet dog passed away. Okay? We know that happened. But if we back all the way out, financially speaking, this is just facts of your friends. Underneath the trauma, what's reality? Reality is there's a $9,000 bill that the person who was downstream, and no one's responsible for that kind of freak accident, but he paid for it. So you guys are out $1,500. The reality is you're not in a position where you've got an extra $60 a month. The reality is I've grown up with dogs my whole life. Jade's grown up with pet dogs. Everyone I know has grown up with pet dogs. And I've lived in the country, I've lived in the city, I've lived in the suburbs. I've never heard of this happening like this. So
Well, of course, you know, it's one of those things you just really can't plan for. Who would have known?
well, exactly. But that's when these, what I would call very, very fringe programs swoop in. It's the same as if you buy a lamp at Best Buy. They're like, you want the $9 insurance plan? It's like, no, I don't want that. Like, so
Just in case.
it's a just in case, and you're in a moment where things are sensitive, and you still have that picture of what happened and that experience and that feeling. And so I don't ever want to feel like that again. So I'm gonna make purchases that don't make financial sense, that actually don't make realistic sense, because the final facts of your friends is you have $13,000 in the account. God forbid something else happened that cost $9,000 and you were totally on the hook for it. You can write that check tomorrow. And so what we're telling you is, I want you to begin to uncouple the feeling of what happened then that's happening in the present. That's what trauma is. It's when your body reimagines in the present, re-experiences in the present something that happened in the past. What you went through was hell on earth. It was hard. It was scary. It probably will never, ever happen. And we're going to grieve it. We're going to be sad. And we're going to go make the next right. The next right move is we're going to love our little dogs. I'm stunned by your neighbor. Sounds like she was horrified, paid $7,500, got rid of the dog, right? Like, went through a lot to do the right thing after an awful accident. So it sounds like everything in the world that could have happened after this thing happened in your favor. It's just hard to see it because of the trauma you went through, the experience you went through. And so what we're telling you is the next right move is not just to throw money at I want to feel like I'm doing something so that I don't feel bad again, because I'm telling you, if, God forbid, this does happen again, you're going to feel bad too. And so let's don't try to mitigate our feelings of what's going to happen in the future. Let's look at data. And if insurance, life insurance, car insurance, home insurance, that's math. We need that. This is just kind of out there on the fringe, and all that's buffered by the fact that you have an emergency fund already. I think you and your husband go sit down, and I want you to write this dog a letter. Tell your dog how much you miss it. I know people who don't have dogs will roll their eyes right now when I just said that. I want you all to write that dog a letter. Let that dog go run and play in doggy heaven, wherever that dog happens to be right now. And then let's start looking at the math and looking at the real world that we have right in front of us. We'll be right back.
I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I have taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like one of those, especially the ones that I'm like, oh, it's terrible, are people that call in and their spouse has passed away suddenly and they don't have life insurance. When you have to think through how am I going to pay my bills
I'm going
in
to
the middle
next week.
Yeah, in the middle of all that grief, like it's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm like so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Xander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance.
And it doesn't cost much because Xander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs no stinking pizza. To get a free quote, call 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Xander.com.
888-825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. Let's go out to Cleveland, Ohio, and talk to Tyler. What's up, Tyler?
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Outstanding, brother. What's up?
So, bit of a predicament I'm in. I currently have 4 kind of high-interest loans that I've been making monthly payments on, with an additional loan that was sent to collections for $20,000, an unsecured loan. Recently negotiated with the debt collectors to get a reduced payment of $12,000, which I was fortunately able to come up with through some very caring family and selling off a few personal items. And in my research, watching your guys' show and everything and reading online, it's usually suggested to pay off the active debt first. I'm curious what your opinion would be in this scenario. I've already got them to agree to the lower amount. Should I use that $12,000 to just pay it off and be done with it? Or should I dump that into my active loan, which would free up a significant amount of cash in my monthly budget?
So to make sure,
Able to negotiate the deal on.
okay. Yeah, the one that's in collections, you need to clear that one up, especially since you were able to secure a deal. The only thing that I would tell you is make sure you get it in writing first. Like, don't pay the payment until you get them to either email you or snail mail you a copy of what will happen when you pay the $12,000. The balance will become 0. Like, make sure it's very detailed what the deal is, and don't pay the money until you get that. Have you asked for that?
So I did already get it in writing or in email from them,
Good.
From the debt collector. Over the phone, they specified that I asked them how it would be reported back to credit agencies, and stated that it would be reported as paid in full.
Okay, good.
However, in the written deal, I see that it says if I pay the $12,000 on it before the 31st, it will be accepted as full and final settlement of the account. Now, that doesn't sound quite like paid in full to me.
I think
probably
the
get
second
that
one's better. Full and final settlement of the account. That
Okay,
means
just
it's
wanted
over.
to make sure.
Mhm.
The word settlement just kind of struck as this was settled for a lower amount, which I don't really want on my report if I can.
But it was settled for a lower amount, and it's going to be, they're reporting it that way, so that is the way it is.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not a problem.
2 more things I want to add to that real quick. You got a second?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Do not let them do an automatic draft or automatic withdrawal of this money.
Okay. Would you, now I was thinking about doing a wire transfer. I got the information from them. Would paying through their online portal be advised, or don't do that either?
If I'm just telling you what I would do in my house, okay? I would go to my bank and I'd open up a secondary account. And you can open an account underneath your main account, right?
Right.
And I'd open an account and I would move that money into that account and I would give that number and then zero it out.
Okay.
So what I don't want them to do is have any path back to my original checking account in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Okay.
The second thing is...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
With that secondary account that you say to open up, zero it out, and then like once they take that $12,000, close that account.
I would.
Because I know that automatic draft, like pre-authorized drafts that are done through like lenders and stuff like that, they can set it for an amount, and there's not really anything they can do to stop it, and it can potentially overdraft that account. Would you suggest putting on or removing the overdraft protection so it can't, say they said they'll do 12,000, but then they try to charge, 15,000.
No, you will use the portal and you'll put the dollar amount in there. We're not doing a draft.
Oh, I got you. I understand.
Never open the door and say you go in there and get what you said you were going to get, because they're going to get more.
Gotcha.
The second thing is, can we learn a lesson here?
You stop taking out loans.
Yes, and so the downstream effect that is, who cares what's on your credit report? All your credit report is, it's a register for how your relationships have been with debt. And at some point you gotta decide, I'm done. So I don't care what 5 ex-girlfriends before said about you, you're married now, who cares?
Gotcha. Understood.
So I don't care what somebody's putting on my credit report, we're done dancing with debt, and so I'm gonna get these other 4 things paid off ASAP, and then I'm gonna be finished borrowing money. So put whatever you want on there.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the advice.
All right, brother. Appreciate your call, man. Let's go to Toledo, Ohio. Holy Toledo, and talk to Carly. Hey, Carly, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Could not be better. What's up?
Slow down. So I was looking into investment streams because I was wanting to retire like when I was like 50 or like younger than 59, like the normal retirement rate. And so I was reaching out to like financial advisors, and I came across one person, and they said to get an indexed universal life insurance where I can pay against like when I'm 50, and it like almost seems too good to be true.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. I really love the fact that at 21 you're thinking about ways to build wealth and thinking about thinking about when you're 50. When I was 21, I was not thinking about the day
when I was 21. I could care less.
that I would turn 50. So I applaud you on that. I think that shows that you're just a mature person and you want to do what's right with your money, which is great. I think also what you're learning here is that you have instincts, and when your instincts tell you that something's not right or too good to be true, that's generally the case. And so I would agree with the way you feel. Yeah, this is too good to be true. And I would run away, baby, from this, like in the words of Bruno Mars. So, what I would do is tell me a little bit more about your financial situation, and then I can kind of craft what I think you should do.
So I have a 401k and a Roth IRA that my old job used to pay into, and now I'm just depositing into it now, like about $100 a month, about like up to like $10,000 combined.
Okay.
And then my current job gives me a pension that I pay 10%, they pay 14%, and I get 10% when I'm 55. So I was wanting something to bridge that like 5-year gap so I can retire earlier.
Okay, so do you have any debt?
I own a house, so that's like the only debt I have.
Okay.
Who are you?
What?
A 21-year-old with all these retirement accounts who owns their own house and doesn't owe any extra money? You're amazing.
I love Dave Ramsey. I've been listening to him forever.
So what percentage of your income total are you investing at this point?
Probably less, like 15%.
About 15%. Okay. And I also want to know, do you have any other non-retirement savings? Like, do you have 3 to 6 months of expenses liquid?
Yeah, I have an emergency fund and like a high-yield savings account that I can pull.
Listen, very good, very good. I want to know who your parents are. This is excellent. Okay. Very good. So here's what I would tell you. I like what your goal is. I like that you're thinking about the fact that you need a bridge into retirement. Again, you're on the right path. The only thing is, at this point, since you are investing 15% already, my next focus for you would be to get your house paid off. Like, let's walk the baby steps in order. And then once you do that, obviously you're building equity there, which I don't know what your plans are. I mean, you're 21. At some point, you're probably going to sell that house. You'll meet somebody that you love, and but that would be my next move, is to start paying that debt down. And then when you're done with that, you can go to the moon. Like, you can invest as much as you want. I'd probably finish up, if you're not already maxing those 401ks and those Roth IRAs and those pensions, I'd max that. Then if you can move into something just like a brokerage account, like you said, for a great bridge, just a normal brokerage account, you can invest 4 ways: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. You can do that in mutual funds. And that's what I would do if I were in your shoes.
Dave Ramsey says get a life insurance policy. That's not like a full life insurance policy.
You need term life is what you need, and it's for people who depend on your income. That's the purpose of having life insurance. It's to replace income for people who depend on it. And you can find that at Xander Insurance, by the way.
There we go. This is the Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This is Deloney, and I'm always railing against social media, especially in the summer, because everyone uploads the highlight reels of their perfect bodies and perfect vacations and perfect kids. And I know they're not real, and I also know that I'm blessed beyond my wildest dreams, but I still find myself wishing my life was like other people's. And based on the data, I know this is happening to you too. Comparison is wired into us, but comparison can also become the thief of joy, because we can feel like we're not enough and begin acting and thinking in ways we would never think otherwise. When it all gets to be too much, think about contacting BetterHelp. BetterHelp is 100% online therapy staffed with licensed therapists. It's convenient, flexible, and suited to fit your schedule. By the way, therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. It's for all of us who are ready to get out of the comparison spin cycle and find our own peace and joy in the life we're creating. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Deloney today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Deloney. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Today's question from Madison in Washington. It's the Ramsey Show question of the day. I'll read it here, Jade. Sorry, I made that intro kind of weird.
It was a little weird. I got you, though.
Thank you. All right, you read it.
Several years ago, my husband was accepted into an out-of-state college program. We had just had a baby, so I had to continue working to support us, even though my goal in life was to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom to raise our kids. Last year, he failed all of the board exams, and now I'm left feeling I gave up everything for nothing. I worked so hard to put him through school, and he didn't take it serious enough to pass. I lost time with my 2 kids when they were babies, and I resent that he was able to do what he wanted to do while I put him through school. How do I get over it? I love him, and he is the best father to my kids, but it just eats at me. I have thoughts.
What do you say, Mama?
Here's the thing. You had to have gone into this knowing that there's always more options than what you're hoping will happen. That's my first thought. My first thought is you say, okay, of course, yes. The idea is you'll work, even though you didn't really want to. It'll help pay for school. He'll go to school. The hope is that he'll pass the boards and everything will go swimmingly. But you also have to plan and mentally have a space for if that doesn't happen. And I think that's probably where things started going awry, is there was only one path, and that was the way, and that's what's going to make it all worth it. And when that didn't happen, I think that was really a big blow. I want to know, I wish I could ask questions, because I want to know more about he didn't take it seriously enough to pass.
Yeah, when he went
and
to
I
the
want to
party?
know, is there another, like, can you keep going? Like, this is not the end of it doesn't have to be the end of the road. So there's more to this story. I don't know it. John?
Anytime you start keeping score in a relationship, especially in a marriage, it's over. It's over. Well, you got to do this, so I get to do this, and I get to do this. It is a group decision that we all make together that someone's going to school. It's a group decision that we're going to move. It's a group decision that I'm going to quit this job and take this new job, and that means your role at home is going to shift. And when it doesn't go your way,
Mhm.
or when it doesn't work out like we planned, then we have to be adults and plan for the next thing. We can't go back and be like, well, you said you can't live like that.
Yeah.
It's a choice to be miserable in the present.
Can I bring something else up?
Yeah.
I might be wrong. You can
Okay.
tell me because this is your area. She said yes. Maybe she should have said no.
Yeah. Said you haven't proven that you're like you've never been a good student. I've known you forever. You don't like school. You don't. And I've had some wild hair adventures that my wife has said my vote is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't say like, no, you can't. That's not how we talk to each other. But I trust her wisdom, and I powdered about it for a few days, and then I look up and she was right.
So I kind of wonder then. This is just me, because I'm, you know, when you guys call in or write in, I'm filtering things through.
Real time.
What if this happened in my life? I think part of the resentment could be, and I'm throwing a long shot here just based on Jade. It might be me really feeling like I'm mad at myself because I know I should have said no, but I said yes, and it's easier for me to be resentful of him than to be mad at my own self. That's me.
All day. And it's easier to blame somebody for the choice that I made, or I didn't speak up, or maybe this isn't a safe relationship and she felt like she couldn't speak
That's
up.
also true.
But here we are, 2 years later, 3 years later, however many years later,
Mhm.
you failed the boards. My first question is, can you go back and take it?
Can you go back and take it?
Second is, we all agreed on this.
Yeah.
We agreed. And you don't just not take it seriously at the very end. You don't take it seriously throughout, right? So
Yeah,
there were
that's
some
a pattern.
conversations that weren't said and weren't had. And I think you might be into something. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. In marriage, especially, secrets will destroy your marriage. And if you keep them, they'll destroy you.
Yeah.
And so if something is quote unquote eating at you, you have to have the courage to put it on the table. And I want you to put it on the table, Madison, with I language. Anytime you start a conversation, a hard conversation with the person you're married to, and you start with a finger pointing, you say, you didn't take this seriously, you cost me 2 years of my life with my babies or whatever, he's going to wall up because he has to go to war. Now he's being attacked.
Yeah.
If you sit down and say, I'm struggling with regret, I'm struggling with resentment, I didn't speak up, and now here we are 2 years later, we are in the hole, we left our family, we left our friends, I missed out with babies, I'm not doing good, this whole thing's eating at me. That's an invitation.
Yeah.
And that's the way you gotta have that conversation. If you just sit there and let it eat at you for things that happened in the past, you are affirmatively choosing to burn your current relationship to the ground.
So is this a point, John, where, you know, I hear you say all the time, guilt over resentment? Like, should she have felt guilty for saying, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to
all day.
sacrifice this time with the kids, and I'd rather feel guilty for, quote, you know, air quotes, not letting you do your dream than me be resentful of missing that time and it not happening.
Speak up.
Speak up.
Let's go speak up.
There's just, I could go on this letter, I could go on about all day, because there's a lot going on here. The fact that what glaringly is obvious to me that I put him through school, that hurt me.
Yeah,
I was like,
because
yikes.
he's probably thinking, I missed out on X, Y, and Z because I was in classes
Sure.
in school. I missed
Yeah.
out on time with my kids because I was in school. They had
Yeah.
And by the way, for almost all of these type of situations, the question, how do I get over it, starts with, I'm going to choose to move. And she won't make that choice to move.
Can I highlight something else?
Yeah, she
Okay.
feels powerful right now. He failed, she feels powerful, and it's good. It feels good just to sit in it.
I want to highlight something else, and the comments might badger me for this. It's okay. So, whenever somebody says, this is wrong, 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 but he's such a great father to my kids.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up.
It makes me, there's something there that I'm like, it just, for me, it's a little bit of a flag as to, yeah, but you're not saying anything that he is to you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Just throwing that out there. Seat council.
State Council. Let's go out to Fort Lauderdale and talk to Eddie. What's up, Eddie?
Hi, good afternoon, guys. Thank you for calling, taking my call.
You got it, man. What's up?
So I've done the Ramsey. I'm planning to retire in December. My next bag is really good. I have $50,000 worth of credit card. I'm planning to pay off at least $20,000 of it and a balance of $30,000. I have 1.1 in my nest egg. Do you think it's wise just to take out that 30,000 from my 401k, pay it off, and get rid of it, and that's it? That's my only bet. My house is paid off. It's worth close to 800. Has no more debt, no nothing,
Good.
and that's it.
Hey, good job.
You know.
How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 60 right now.
Okay, very good. I love that you've been diligent. You've paid off the house. You've got 1.1 million. Tell me a little bit more. Where'd this credit card debt come from?
Yeah.
And are you done with credit cards?
I'm done with credit cards.
Are you?
Doesn't sound like it. Well, I'm a very generous guy. So when I go out with my kids and all that stuff, I got so I'm that guy. So lately, my wife has found me, it makes me nice. Okay.
Well, you're about to be on a fixed income. You're about to be on a very fixed income here. So I want to make sure that you understand that part of it.
Yeah, no, I know we have done the numbers, me and my wife, and this is only my side. She has no debt whatsoever. I know what you guys teach is that it's your debt, it's our debt, but I wanted to fight this because she's really good and I'm really horrible. So I'm like, don't money, I got this. I have to.
Eddie, that ego's gonna drown you, brother. That is 100% male ego. Let it ride.
I know. Well,
let it ride, homie. That is gonna bury you, Eddie.
That's it.
Okay, if I told you could go down to the bank and take out a loan at 30%, would you do that?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, that's what borrowing from your 401 is.
Hey, before you make this decision, I want you to sit down and work with one of our Ramsey trusted advisors on this because you don't want to make this decision alone. I truly don't trust that you're ready to make this decision alone. You need somebody to look at the numbers. We'll put the information in the show notes for you to make sure you're talking with somebody who can tell you if you're truly ready to retire, considering your numbers and your wife's numbers.
Thank you so much for listening to us. This hour is in the books. We'll be back soon, right here on The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Dave here, and I know some of you listen to the show waiting for a call that answers your specific question. Maybe you need help with budgeting, or investing, or saving your emergency fund. But wouldn't it be great if you could get the answers you need right when you need them? Well, I got great news for you, because you can. When you download the Ramsey Network app, you get our advanced AI search that lets you easily find the calls that matter to you. You can also browse by topic to find answers for the exact things you need help with. That means you don't have to simply hope the next call will be the one you've been waiting for, because the Ramsey Network app lets you have control. And with over 7,000 hours of life-changing content, the Ramsey Network app is the best place to find the answers you're listening for. To get access to personalized content for free, just search Ramsey Network in the App Store today.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee, this is The Ramsey Show, where we talk about your money, we talk about building wealth, we talk about your mental and emotional health, the work you do, all of it. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jade Warshaw. We are taking your calls live at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Whatever you got going on in your life, give us a buzz. And if we don't have an answer, we've got an opinion that we will make up on the spot just for you. Let's go to Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo. So many things I want to say about Fargo. But
Why are you saying it like
Let's talk to Amanda. What's up, Amanda?
Hi, am I on or not?
You are on in front of all dozen of our listeners. What's up?
So we consistently create some financial gains, and then we consistently fall back down into the pit. A lot of usually due to our layoffs. And I guess I don't know how to break this cycle, and we're trying to figure out what to do. Should we continue in what we've been doing financially? Should we make some changes? I don't really know what to do.
How many layoffs? How many times does this happen?
It happens twice a year. So we have a week off in July and 2 weeks off December, January.
So you know that they're happening every time?
Yeah.
Okay. So that actually
we
makes
plan for it.
Say again?
we plan for it. We have enough money to make it through. We reached the point where we no longer have to take out debt in order to survive the layoff. We just.
So if you're planning for it, where's the problem?
Because I'm tired of falling back down into the same, no savings, no, it's like, it just doesn't seem to end.
So, okay, so then I think we have a situation of, we have different definitions. Because for me, if you're planning for it, then there's no loss of gain. But you're saying that every time it's taking you down to zero. So whatever progress you made, there is no progress. And I'm saying, so is that right?
Hey
Because I'm
guys.
thinking, okay, if I
Thank you for the
know
comment.
there's going to be a layoff in July, how long is the layoff in July again?
It's a week.
1 week. Okay. And then I've got a 2-month layoff, January and December, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking throughout the next 10 months, basically, I've got to make sure in 10 months I'm planning that I have enough for 2 months. So I'm always kind of like packing it away like a squirrel, and I've got it there waiting. And that's on top of and aside from emergency funds and all the other things that we're doing. It's almost like a sinking fund that you're creating. So what I'm thinking is that the income that you guys do have, it might be tight as it is. Am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Okay, so what's your husband?
I've never, what's that?
What are you and your husband earning?
I have not had a real job in 12 years.
Why?
I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool my children.
Okay.
He makes $45 an hour with zero benefits. No PTO, no sick time.
Wow.
No dental, no vision.
Wow.
What type of work is it?
A lot of his
What type of work is
He's a
it?
contractor in a factory. He's a contractor.
And no benefits. Okay. What? Tell me more about Fargo, North Dakota. Why are you guys staying there?
That's what the Lord has called us. My husband is very involved in ministry. We're in the process of starting a church. We're very involved in our home life.
Okay.
And I don't know, that's why we're there.
So you think the Lord calls you to a situation where you're terrified of your ability to feed your family every month?
Well, we're not that bad. I have at least 3 months supply of food in my house at all times. It never goes below that. But I don't really feel like it's time to leave the town that we're in. We're in a small town near Fargo.
Is he working 40 hours a week?
Right now he's doing 50 to catch back up with what we're doing.
Okay, so before taxes, I'm looking at the numbers before taxes, and it's not really that bad. What is he actually bringing home? Because there's no medical, there's no... $2,180, I believe, was today's paycheck. Yeah, but I mean for the month.
It varies.
What was your household income last year?
I don't really know.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's part of the problem. That is a big part of the problem. So the first thing here is, if I ask somebody what they're making and they don't really know, then I know they can't be making a clear budget and a tight budget. Because that's just partial to it.
I do a month budget. I don't do a year budget.
I wouldn't advise you to. I would advise you to do a month to month. But when you're doing a month to month, you still have an idea of here's about what we bring home. Here's a good month. Here's a bad month. Right? And so I think that you guys could tighten up a little bit on that. Unless you just are like, Jade, I got nervous. We're on live radio. Like, I get that.
I am nervous. I do know the numbers of that in front of my computer.
I got you.
It's also hard because he just got fired from his job and then he's had a different job. We got $5 an hour less pay. So I don't really know.
Okay.
So we've had a big change.
Are you doing an every dollar budget? Every month?
I don't know what that's actually. So here's how I run my budget. My budget is everything is in a spreadsheet. Every bill we have is in my spreadsheet. I have the total at the bottom, and then I have that divided by 4 because that's how many paychecks we get in a month. It's a week to week. And then every single week I take that divided number. So today was $670 approximately.
Okay, I'm going to simplify your life. I'm going to simplify your life. Before we get off this call, I'm going to make sure you get set up with every dollar. It's going to make it so simple. It's going to be at your fingertips. So much of it is going to do the work for you, which I think could be helpful for a stay-at-home mom who's homeschooling, right? Anything to take something off your plate. So I think that's going to give you a clearer picture just on a daily basis on what's going on with the numbers. But the transactions can automatically come into every dollar and you can see it at a glance, which I think is something that will help. And it will help you come up with how can we create a line item where we're always putting away for those off months so that it's separate from everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I put $300 away every paycheck.
Right, but we want to make sure what you called in and said is, even though we're doing that, I still feel like we're going backwards. And so I want to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. So do you guys, on top of the money that you put aside for his off months, do you guys have 3 to 6 months of expenses?
No.
Okay. That's
not even close.
That's the goal. That's what we want to get to, because if you have if you have 3 to 6 months of expenses, if you have another fund set aside for when he's laid off, then you're not going to feel that way. And by the way, if you haven't started paying off debt, that's probably going to be a step in this process too. So hang on the line. We're going to get you set up with Financial Peace University, because I have a feeling that you're doing a lot of the right things, but they may be out of order, and there may be a way that we can really optimize this for you, and it can really help you get to a point to where you feel like you're only going forward and you're never going backwards.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Buying your first home is a big deal and sets the stage for your financial success. So, work with a mortgage advisor you trust, not just some random website. Churchill Mortgage is Ramsey trusted because they help you avoid hidden traps and expertly guide you through every step. Learn more at churchillmortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender, 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. Real quick, just stop what you're doing, not because I'm about to ruin, but because it takes 2 seconds to subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up button, leave a 5-star review, whatever you got to do. It's a way for no money. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's a way to help out the show. But more importantly than the show, it's a way to help out your neighbors, because the more you like and share the show and leave 5-star reviews, the more it kicks it up into the internets and the algorithms, and it puts it in front of your neighbors. It gets them some of the life-changing freedom, peace, and hope missing from traditional media these days. So please, please, please like and subscribe to the show. It's a gift to us, but more importantly than us, it's a gift to your neighbors. Thank you so much for being in our gang. Let's go to Knoxville, Tennessee, to the K-Knox and talk to Kat. Hey, Kat, what's up?
Hey, hi Jade and John. So I'm trying to figure out how bad or how good my situation actually is. I'm 68, I'm retired, I have a decent fixed income, I have a mortgage but no other debt, and I have 3 months of emergency savings, and nothing else.
Okay. So you're on the fixed income. Right now, is that fixed income enough?
It is just enough. I have to tighten I don't have a complete handle on those annual expenses that pop up.
Okay.
And so I've been a little overspending, but I feel like with what I have, I can get a handle on the annual, and I can definitely cover my basics.
Okay. And the mortgage, how much do you owe on it?
$350,000.
Oh.
And I will say I am committed to keeping this house because of an obligation to a family member.
Okay.
And so that, plus my whole life, my whole retirement is built around this land here, which has a small farm and income potential. So I just want to say that's not on the chopping block.
Okay.
I'd have to be going into foreclosure before that would go.
And I'm not opposed. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I just was wanting to get an idea of your whole. 30 year.
100%.
Okay, and how many years have you been paying? Basically, when you paid off?
Like 2.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be quite old.
Okay, so with your fixed, here's where I'm at. With your fixed income, you're, like you said, you're getting a handle on the annual stuff, but it's not allowing you to make extra payments to pay this off any faster.
No.
And
it's not, or should save money. I mean, that's one of my questions is, so assuming I can make some more money, I think I have some ways to bring a little extra
No,
money.
Freightliner. Freightliner truck.
And I would do that.
If I did that, would I invest it, or would I pay off this mortgage that doesn't have much of a chance of ever actually impacting my monthly experience?
I would invest it, because walking through the baby steps, the next baby step for you would be to be investing 15% of your income. And in this case, probably anything that you get above and beyond, right, would go towards that. So for that reason, I would. And the truth is, I mean, like you said, this most of us plan on living, right? And so if you plan on living, then you're going to look 20 years and that money will have grown, and it will be money that you can have and pull from. So I would do that. I would do that. I mean, I think for you, because you said the house is not on the table, then that's really your only option. Is to say, I'm going to live a life that's on this fixed income, and I'm going to, the only other thing I might do, and I would do, is get your emergency fund up to 6 months of expenses.
Okay.
I would do that, and then past that, I would just start investing 15%. Or whatever above and beyond, you know, whatever your side hustle brings you.
Okay. And the other part of this question is, how bad off am I? Should I be like, my feet are on fire, I have to make more money?
I would, because like you said, you don't have much wiggle room, and all it takes is for something to go wrong and you're like scrambling. Like, you're in this house, hopefully everything's good, but you also have a lot of land. And when I see that, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of opportunity for things to require money. And so even though you have 6 months of expenses saved, if something happens and whittles it down to 3 months, well, how long is it going to take you to bump it back up, right? You don't want that to take forever. So for that reason, as much money as you can pack away, you know, obviously whatever you can, you know, invest and have compound interest working on your side is a good thing. So that's what I would do. I mean, I could just tell you, if the house was on the chopping block, I might suggest downsizing, but in your case, I don't think that it is something that you're going to do, so we won't even talk about it.
Tell me about this family obligation.
I finished this house with 3 living spaces, and with a promise that my cousin could retire here and stay for life, and I'm not breaking that promise. And she's here, and we both want to be here.
So she contributed?
All the activity and the way I plan to live my retirement is tied up in this land.
Is she contributing in any way?
She has, but it's not a monthly cash. So the contribution is done, so it does not help me in a monthly way.
For free?
Yeah.
I just have to be honest with you. You said you were 68?
Yeah.
Okay. It scares me for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It scares me for you simply because you're entering into a space where you don't have the flexibility financially to have the lack of flexibility in all areas of what you want to be true.
Right.
And so it's Nashville comes up. Yeah, there's something with the well, or something with the power, or something with something, right? And man, you get into thinking it's going to be a farm producing, we're going to grow grass, it's a thing after a thing after a thing after a thing after a thing. And in a million years, I would have expected that. And Mom passed away after a bout with Alzheimer's. And he said, here's the day if you can be here. And I checked on nothing. I said, I won't miss this. And it's because I have an emergency fund. It's because we have built these things up over time that I don't even have to check. I know I've got the money to go be with my friend and his family during this time of pain. So my concern for you is you've locked yourself into this thing. I will never change this no matter what. Come hell or high water. I made a promise, even one that I didn't even know I could financially keep, but I made it. And so I'm gonna live a life on a fixed income, and that just makes me nervous for you because life doesn't work like that, generally speaking. If it did, we wouldn't have this show, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely situations that could lead to changing that, and then, maybe in 20 years we'll both be ready for something different.
Maybe, yeah. But to back up what Jade said about the investment, if I were you and you still have the ability, I would be out there hustling work tomorrow.
I think you have to.
I get one job, two job, and I would dump that into investments. It'll double every 7 years. So I think 21 years from now, they will have doubled and then doubled and then doubled again, whatever amount you put in there.
Yeah, you have to think of this as you've made two choices. If you've made the choice to keep the house, then you also made the choice that you're going to continue working. And I think as long as you do it like that, you'll be okay. And to answer your question, if you're on fire, I would say, Scoville meter, you're probably pretty far up there.
It's pretty hot.
You're pretty hot. It's pretty hot, but you gotta work. As long as you work, you keep the temperature.
Here's the hard truth. Your investment dollars could be winding up in the pockets of companies that hold positions that you don't agree with. Yes, that's right. People are unknowingly putting money into big tech giants and household brand names that don't match up with their core values. But there's good news. Timothy Plan is at the forefront of biblically responsible investing. That means Timothy Plan uses a strategy that lets investors chase competitive returns while staying rock solid in their beliefs. So if you're ready to invest with a clean conscience, it's time to check out Timothy Plan. Contact your financial advisor today to see if Timothy Plan is right for you. Visit timothyplan.com for more information. timothyplan.com. Investing includes risk, including possible loss of principal. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus or summary prospectus, if available, at timothyplan.com. Read carefully before investing. Mutual funds distributed by Timothy Partners LTD. ETFs distributed by Foresight Fund Services LLC. 888-825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jade Marshall. All right, so this is Deloney vulnerability time. Over the last few years, I've been sitting by Dave, I've been sitting by Jade, I've been sitting by George, never with Rachel, but with all my fellow personas, and they will say something about money, because I don't know much about it. They'll say some kind of, retirement vehicle, or they'll say like 50, whatever, and I will be thinking in my head, I don't know what that is, and I'm on the radio for millions of people. And so off air, I'll ask him, like, hey, what was that? And then sometimes I just ask him on air, like, hey, real quick, stop. So we're doing a new segment called Asking for a Friend, because we know that you are there listening, and we're talking about retirement investing, we're talking about 501s, talking about 401ks, we're talking about all these different things, and you're wondering, I don't know what that is, and I just put in ChatGPT, but I don't fully get it. So we've got you. So today's Asking for a Friend segment is on what is retirement investing?
Such a good question. And no one wants to admit that they maybe don't know. Right. To your point. So a lot of people hear the term retirement investing or my retirement account, and they're afraid to ask really what this means. Why is it different from other investing? Because it's something that as adults we feel like we should know, right? You don't want to be today years old and you find out about it. But luckily, it's really not you who wants to know, it's your friend. So take a look at this.
You don't have enough money.
Okay, right here. It says right here in this account we have $401,000.
Jackpot.
You missed it.
No, that says you have a 401k account. If you liquidate that right now, you'll have, maybe $5,000.
So what happened to the other $396,000?
Oh.
Got you.
What is wrong with the two of you?
That sounds like me and Dave on a regular basis.
Oh my gosh, listen, we're laughing at it, but it's very true. I remember talking to somebody and I said, well, are you investing at all? And they said, no, I have my 401k, but no. And I was like, oh, you are investing.
Do you have any debt? No, I don't have any debt. I mean, except for my car, my student loans, and my mortgage, and that loan I took out on the pony. And you're like, what are you talking about, right?
Well, the truth is a lot of people, you go to your job and they get you set up and it's like, do you want to invest? Do you want to put money into your 401k? Okay,
Okay.
but they're not explaining to you what's going on. Okay, So let's learn about this today. Let's talk about what retiring investing actually means for your friend who is confused. So really there's really two vehicles. When we talk about retirement investing, this is money that when you are of retirement age, it's there for you because after a while you're not going to be working your job, getting your normal check, right? And so you want to make sure that when you get that age, there's money for you. So for most people, retirement age is 59 and a half. So these accounts, once you put the money in, you can't get to it until you're 59 and a half, okay? So there's really two vehicles that most people will see. You see a 401k, and it comes in a traditional form where you pay the taxes right when it comes in a traditional form where you put the money in and you pay the taxes on it later. Or it can come in a Roth form where you pay the taxes now so that when you pull the money out later, you don't have to pay the taxes, right? And this is employee sponsored. When you go to work a job, they say, hey, we've got this account for you. You can put money into it and invest it, and it'll be there for you when you need it, okay? Then you could do another type of account that has absolutely nothing to do with your job, right? Maybe you're self-employed or you're just, not taking notes. Get my alert on. Earned income you have, you could say, well, I'm going to go out on my own and do my own retirement investing. And if that's the case, you would do an IRA, right? It's basically an individual retirement agreement, I think is what it stands for. And so that's you aside from your job saying, I want to invest for retirement. And it's the same idea. You've got the traditional option where you put the money in and then you pay the taxes later when you take it out, or the Roth version, you put the money in, you pay taxes on it when you put it in, and then when you take it out, you don't have to pay the taxes, right? That's what we're talking about. And so that's really what it looks like. If you're a school teacher, you might have a 403B. If you're in the military, you might have I think it's a 520, 459, 559, I can't remember. But they take those are the tax treatments, those different numbers. And so everybody's got access to one or the other. But that's the point here. It's money that you're putting aside so that later it's there when you're ready to retire. That's the whole point. So if you're not investing and it's time for you to invest, I would say you need to do it. So then most people are like, okay, how do I know when it's time for me to invest? So let's talk about that a little bit. John, you got your notes ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. You do the first one because you know this. What's one thing that you should have in place first before you start retiring?
An emergency fund.
Yay.
Gotta take care of my today before I start trying to plan for my tomorrow.
I love that. That is just like something that would be hanging on.
Yeah, it's like stitching to a pillow to get it
That's like in Michael Scott's office,
yeah, exactly.
like hanging in a frame. All right. So what I was testing John on is basically next steps, right? So this is the format to know if you're ready to invest. First, if you have debt, we're going to walk you through it. First, you need $1,000 saved. That's your emergency fund. It's just there as a cushion. And then baby step 2, we want you paying off all of your debt except your mortgage, right? Once that debt is clear, because remember, debt is risk. Once that's clear, you're going to save up 3 to 6 months of a fully funded emergency fund. This is making sure that you are set. Like come hell or high water, you are ready to go. Okay, that's what that's about. Then when that's done, now we start investing 15% of our income every single month into that retirement vehicle. For most of us, it's 401k. For a lot of us, it might be been going to a Roth. So that's the framework. Some of you are now saying, well, Jade, 15%, like that's great, but how do I know? Do I do the 401k? What can I do beyond that? Let's talk about that. All right, John. So let's say you're asking the question, well, Jade, I looked and my employer is offering a 401k. Do I invest there or do I go to the Roth IRA? This is how you want to think about it. Most employers offer some sort of match, right? 3%, 4%, whatever that is. If you have a match, that's the best thing you can get because it's free money.
Yeah.
So you always start there. You invest up to your match. And then for most of us, unless your 401k is a Roth, because that's the best option there is, unless it's a Roth, then you would say, okay, I'm up to my match. Now I'm going to go over and do a Roth IRA. Max that out. And then once that's gone, then you can come back to your traditional 401k, finish that up, and that is really, really good. If you still have money that you can invest, then you could go into another type of account that's a non-retirement account. You could do a brokerage account or something like that.
So like, just to break it down for a simpleton like me.
Go for it.
Let's say I work at a company and they give me a 5% match.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to put 5% of my income into that account and take their free money.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. 5% is usually on income. 5% of your income.
And we get this question a lot. So that adds up to 10%, but we're going to put 15 of our own money into that account.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in 5. Now I'm going to loop back over here and let's say I can put up to 7% of my income and max out a Roth IRA. So now I got 12%. Now I'm going to come back and say, okay, I'm going to up my original by another few percent.
That's right.
And so that's 8%. And they're matching 5. And then I'm going to have 7% of my income in a Roth and walking away. That sounds complicated, but I've taken 15%. And I don't care what the match is. I'm not including that. It's just gravy money on top.
That's right.
And then I'm going to put 8% of my income into this account. And I'm going to put 7% of that, and then I'm walking away.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. And so, we teach 15% of your income goes away until you've paid off your house, and then you can do whatever you want beyond that. But some people say, well, Jade, man, my match is amazing. I get 7% match or a 10% match or even, 4% fund. Does that count towards the 15%? You're right, it does not. It's on top of that, because here's the thing, life changes and you want to be in the rhythm of investing 15% regardless, because let's say you move away and now this employer doesn't do that same batch, or you decide to go into business for yourself. So many things can change, and you want that muscle built that it's like when you get the money, 15% goes, like you don't even have to think about it. So
and also multiple jobs I've worked. They've come in and said, hey, we're having tough times financially. We're not going to lay people off, but we're going to drop the match to X%. And if they drop the match to X% and you've built that in, not a lot of people can then go, okay, during tough times, well, then I'm going to have to increase X% of my salary. It's already part of our life. And so it just makes the gravy a little bit less.
Very
It
true.
doesn't hurt you financially in your bigger picture.
That's so true. And hey, if you have more questions about investing, you can check out one of our SmartVestor Pros and they can help you out.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, there's a lot of half-baked investing advice out there, but here's what you can do to get more confident about this stuff. Check out the SmartVestor program. SmartVestor connects you with local financial advisors who have the heart of a teacher. They'll help you level up your knowledge and build a retirement plan based on your goals, not theirs. Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor to get connected and get more confident about your plan. That's RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Ramsey Solutions is a paid, non-client promoter of participating pro. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
All right, here's the deal. I need your help. Jade, I need your help. We have this amazing Live Like No One Else cruise, and it is almost sold out. We've been talking about it for a few weeks now, maybe a couple months. It is almost sold out, and there is now a quiet competition for who is going to get credit for the last seats sold. And Jade and I are on together, and so I am shamelessly asking, thinking about coming on this cruise. If you know we're going on this cruise, I'm going to surprise the little one, I'm going to surprise my wife, I'm going to surprise my husband. We're doing this. $600 deposit. That's all it takes, and these cabins are gone. We are running out of cabins, and you can help me and Jay defeat George and Rachel and Ken, which is really what we want to do here. Here's the deal.
Wow.
It's the ultimate debt-free celebration. The vacation is for those of you who are on baby steps 4 and above. 7 days, March 22nd through 29th. We're going to be stopping at some amazing places, and by we, I'm talking about me, Jade, Rachel Cruz, George Campbell, Ken Coleman, Dave Ramsey, and a bunch of Dave's rad musician and comedian and other entertainers, friends, magicians, the whole thing. We're going to Turks and Caicos. We're going to St. Thomas. We're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to the Bahamas. And we are going to eat well. We're going to have events. We're going to have music. We're going to have all kinds of chaos on this boat.
Are you going to play your guitar?
I might play the guitar. If George does, I will. They're going to get that taste out of their ears. And so, yes, are you going to sing? You're singing, aren't you?
Me and George are going to do a duet of More Than Words.
Well, then we're duetting. We're duetting. All right, here's the thing. We're almost out. We're almost out. The VIP upgrades and many of the cabin types completely sold out. They're already gone. If you're trying to get your pick of the last few cabins, like the one with an ocean view, I think there's a couple left. Get your deposit in right now. $600 deposit. Book your cabin today at RamseySolutions.com/cruise. Not Tom Cruise, Cruise, C-R-U-I-S-E. Ramsey Solutions, maybe how you spell Tom Cruise, I don't know.
That's correct.
RamseySolutions.com/cruise. It is going to be a party. Come join us. All right, let's go out to Edmonton, Alberta, and talk to Amber, like the light. What's up, Amber?
Hey, how's it going?
We're partying. What's up?
Right on. I just wanted to ask if
feel that we're in a position to increase our mortgage to buy our forever home, or if we should be being put and getting the mortgage done.
Okay. Yeah, I want to help with that.
Maybe give you one wrap financially.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We've been doing the debt pay down, but backwards. So I started with the mortgage. So I stopped that. We've got the emergency fund in place. Kids' college funds were fully funded beforehand.
Okay.
I stopped the retirement savings. The only thing we owe now is $9,000 on a travel trailer that will be paid off by the end of next month. So then I have a bonus coming that's guaranteed that will put us into big step 6, basically.
Okay.
And we owe our own house is worth about $685. We owe $149 on it. The perfect property just came up for us, so we feel will be like long term. We have to increase our mortgage by $105,000 to take that mortgage off.
Okay. So let's think about it like this. I love that you're kind of getting back on track. You're paying off the debt, getting the emergency fund in place. Is it 3 months or 6 months?
That would be 4 months, right?
4 months. Okay. Are both you and your spouse working?
Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with 4 months. Kids' college is on track. So when you sell this house, what will it bring you? All said and done.
We got about $500 in equity on it.
Okay. And then the house that you're wanting to get, it's $100,000 more?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll make our mortgage about $255 instead of $149.
Okay. And what's the monthly payment? Have you looked at the percentages?
Well, I want to do it on the 10-year, and that puts us at 22%.
Listen, yeah, I'm like, why not?
Today, kid, today.
Yeah, instantly. I love that you're doing a 10-year mortgage because you want to get this thing out of your hair. I love that it's only going to be 22% of your take-home pay. I mean, you're beating all the parameters, and as long as you have peace about it, that's the final parameter. And so there you go.
My only challenge to you, Amber, is to unclench your fist around the words "forever home."
There.
Because there's just no such thing, and life just has a bunch of twisted turns, and it's the coolest home for this season. And same as I've got a cool jacket that I got one time from Filson that I love, and I have some cool hunting gear that I got from Sitka. I don't wear those in the summer because it'd be 1,000 degrees, right? And so for that season, it's the best, and then we roll into spring, and then we just do what's right in front of us. So I don't really believe in the forever house kind of thought, but when it comes to numbers, you're right on. Good for you.
Okay, awesome.
Good for you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, let's roll out to Kansas City, home of Patrick Mahomes. Talk to Jennifer. What's up, Jennifer?
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Of course. What's up?
So, we have a incoming senior. She's going to be a senior in high school. Just trying to help her kind of figure out what the next step will be. So she's kind of a clean slate. Just started working as a part-time job, but really doesn't have a lot of money saved, anything. The vehicle that she drives right now is one that my husband and I purchased with cash, with the idea that would be all of our children's car as they get 16. She's kind of an old leader, AC doesn't work, that kind of thing. My in-laws have offered, or said they want to give her $10,000 cash as a senior present, whatever it is, total gift, and that they have stated that they would really like for her to use this on a vehicle. We would like for her to get a vehicle. We've been kind of in the starting to get her to brainstorm about ways to do that, save money, what are you going to be able to afford, that kind of thing. Is that wise?
What's your hesitancy?
Yeah.
Do what?
Why does it bother you?
What's your hesitancy?
I just think that's a lot of money that she could also have some of it in her savings to help her get started. Should we discourage the full $10,000 to go to a vehicle?
Here's the deal. Once they give you the money, it's your money.
Right.
And if your apprehension is coming from the fact that you know that they have a record of giving, and then that those gifts come with strings, don't take the money.
No,
No
strings.
If they're going to give you 10 grand and they're going to recommend that you use it to buy a car, if this is my house, I might buy a $7,000 car and put $3,000 in savings.
Interesting.
Right.
Or I might buy all 10,000.
I don't know. I think I push back on that a little bit because if I'm thinking, I'm just, again, putting myself in these shoes. If I'm like, hey, my cousin could really use a car. I'm going to give them $10,000 to get a car, and I say, hey, I know you need a car. This $10,000 is for a car, and they kind of do something else with it. I think you can put something on a gift and
No, you
say,
can. But you just get to decide whether you want to take that gift or not.
right. And in this case, I
guess
take
when
it.
we were when we were starting the conversation about her getting a car, we were wanting her to stay more in like the 6,000 range, you know. So now that she has the opportunity to 10, do we still say take the 10 and go, or do we say?
I would, because before it was you saving up or you guys helping her, but now you really do have a free gift. It gets her, I mean, a $10,000 car, it's going to get her a great vehicle.
That'll get her through college and beyond.
Yeah, beyond. And then that frees up more, because you're no longer saving for that. That frees up more of the money to do what you want to do, which go towards savings, whether it be, you know, for college or whatever, what have you.
Okay.
And so if you don't want to do the savings, spend you know, $7,000 on a car, put $3,000 in savings or whatever ratio you want to come up with. Let's say you spend all 10 grand on a car. I would put a dollar amount. I might show her, here's what semester 1 of college costs. We're going to be saving towards this dollar amount, because a lot of kids say I'm going to start saving for college, and it's kind of an amorphous thing. Here's what semester 1 is going to cost. We're going to start saving. Or here's what your books are going to cost at college, or however y'all have that worked out. And so she can have a target, a dollar amount that she can begin to see, I earned this, and I only have to earn this much more to get this number. But it helps her work towards a project. But a gift is a gift, and if it doesn't have strings to it, and you're raising a kid of character, I'd say go for it. What do you think, Jade?
I'm with it. I think giving them a target is good for college. That was really, really important.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back very soon right here on The Ramsey Show. What up, what up? This is The Ramsey Show live from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jade Warshaw, and we are taking your calls on your relationships, your emotional, mental health, your money, building wealth, retirement, all of it. We're talking about work you love, anything and everything going on in your life. 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. Give us a call. We're taking live calls. Let's go out to Green Bay, Wisconsin, formerly home of Aaron Rodgers, and talk to Adam. Hey, Adam, what's up?
How we're doing? How about you guys?
We're doing fantastic, man. What's up?
Well, let's start with the good. I don't have any personal debt between me and my wife. We run a business, and I'm drowning. Business is drowning.
Tell me about it.
Well, we're the last of a dying breed, I'd say. We're still here trying to eke out a living milking cows, and I just can't make it scale. I've worn out several pencils, and I can't make it work.
Can I ask a question? You made the point of saying you don't have any personal debt. Do you have what you're considering business debt?
Yep.
Okay, how much?
That's all in an LLC.
Okay, it's okay. But how much?
Mortgage is 1.2, and there's 300 in open accounts.
You can't breathe, can you?
Nope.
How long you been farming?
Forever.
Okay. So for those listening, normally this is where someone calls and says they took out a $1.2 million loan for their business, and they're running a $300,000 revolving account. And we get all fired up and holler at them. And I want everyone listening to hear me slow down, because my heart's broken for you, Adam. Because as a farmer who's been a farmer forever, you generational farmer?
I'm fourth. 139 years.
This is you standing back and looking at a family legacy that's going to be different after today. And that's a death, and I'm sorry. I'm heartbroken for you. Tell me about the challenges you're having. You say you can't scale it. Is it the size of the debt? Is it the fluctuating prices? What is it?
Price doesn't help anything for sure. In 2015, I took over from my dad, and
I looked at the spreadsheet and it wasn't going to work how he was doing it. So I borrowed, I signed the paper and borrowed $500,000, and some stuff happened and it didn't cash flow. The first 2-3 years of it, cash flowed excellent. I was doing $750,000 a year in escrows. And the price fell, and as soon as I couldn't cover my payment completely, my bank was not willing to work with me at all. And in the last year now, going back and forth, they sold me to an investment company in New York. And I have till the end of this year to either figure out how to make a full payment, or they're going to foreclose on me.
Take your farm. Family land?
Yeah, 520 acres.
What's
the payment?
$16K a month. Right now, I'm paying the interest just a 10.
What are you going to owe them at the end of this year? What check do you have to write?
I would be 1.2.
You have to write them for the full amount they're calling the note?
They would be calling no, yeah. Either they call a note, or it would get re-signed for 7 years at $16,000 a month.
and you can't make that?
Not with the current amount of cows I have right now.
What would it take?
100 cows.
What do you got?
I'm milking 100 currently. I'd have to be 200 plus.
So what's the worth of this land?
Pardon?
What's the worth of the land?
Over 1.2 million.
So can you? I mean, I don't want to be the one to say this, but I think selling it is worse than foreclosing on it.
Or can I get a different loan to pay off that loan company?
You're in a hard mess, brother.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can, if I had.
Are you breaking up, or are you thinking through
I'm
this?
sorry, I was getting away from my phone.
Okay.
If I could get into 100 cows and
Adam.
It's better overnight.
But that causes you going into debt, right?
You've been doing this dance for a long time.
I have.
Yeah. Wow. Hear us sitting with you, man. We're not running from it, but we're not gonna lie to you either.
Right.
You've been waiting for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing over the hill. Now you owe $1 million. And you've read about these farmers, you probably know a few farmers like this. They get looped up in the debt cycle, and what the big investment firms want is your dirt. And they find farmers like you who are generational farmers who are trying to keep up with technology and the cratering prices, and they see 500 acres that's about to be theirs. Can you sell your way out of it the back way? Keep the land at least? Do you have equipment and cows you could sell?
Yeah, my total assets is like 2.3 million with everything.
Okay.
What happens if you would go that route? Then you at least get to keep the land and keep your home.
Turn your land into a grazing property, or get with these guys who I just love, the Carbon Cowboys, and just run cattle for a while. It's better than losing 500 acres of generational property.
Yeah, it'd be better than losing it. I mean, that's my biggest fear.
Well, I've toured old dairy farms, man. It's staggering, but here's what I know. I've toured old dairy farms. I've got one in my family, and it's so hard to part with it. So that's why I'm just heartbroken for you. But you're about to lose all of it. And if you've got enough equipment and cows and tractors to walk it out the back door and keep a small amount of cows and get with the carbon guys, cowboy guys, and learn how to farm it up, all the fertilizer, and slowly rebuild this thing from scratch, you at least are hanging on to 500 acres of generational property. And they quit making that dirt a long time ago.
That's what's most important in this whole equation.
Otherwise, your pride's going to end up losing all of it. You and your wife are going to be in a 2-bedroom apartment here this time next year.
Yeah. I don't know how to deal with the shame.
I know. I got you. I got you. Hey, we're coming up on a commercial, brother. I'm going to hold you over because I want to keep talking to you for a minute, okay? So hang on. We're going to run the commercial, and we'll be right back. And your bravery and vulnerability is a gift, and I'm grateful for you. Stay on the line. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here. You know, some people think budgeting means they can't have any fun with money. And I know this because that was me. But the truth is, budgeting doesn't limit your freedom. It actually gives you freedom. A budget is simply telling your money where to go. And the best way to do this is with EveryDollar, my favorite budgeting app. It'll help you create a plan for your money that fits your lifestyle. So whether it's a spontaneous date night or an epic Disney cruise, budget for some fun. Download EveryDollar for free today.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. We are talking to our friend Adam in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Adam is a 4th-generation dairy farmer who, like countless other farmers across this country, is, and to quote Adam, burned up several pencils trying to make the math work on keeping this farm alive. And as in many businesses, there's always another opportunity if we could just get to this next level, And Adam's found himself over $1 million in the hole, and he's staring at a foreclosure at the end of this year that would take over 500 acres of generational property away into an investment crew out of New York City. And right there at the end of the call, we're navigating what do we do next. And Adam, you're here. Does that sound about right? Yeah, at the end of the call, you asked a really powerful question that I think every single one of us wrestles with, and we as a culture do a terrible job of talking about it out loud, which is, how do I deal with the shame? How do I deal with the shame of being the bottom of the 4th generation saying, I'm the guy that had to call? Tell me about the shame you're feeling right now, man.
It's terrifying. It's all encompassing. It's all I think about. You can't wash that off. Just like I'm an electrician, I can go pick up another job. This isn't what I do, it's who I am. I don't know how else to explain it.
Your husband, wife?
Yeah, father, 2 little girls.
Your father, yeah. So I know this is a little bit countercultural to a 4th-generation farmer, but I'd like to challenge you that you're a husband, you're a dad. And then down the road, if you're a person of faith, you're a child of God, then down the road is what you do. And I think what you do now creates what happens for the next 4 generations. And those little girls get to see Dad faced with a reality, not by his hand, but in his lap. And they get to see Dad choose his heart, right? Is he going to choose the path of we lost it all? And I'm saying this because I love you, because I had some ego. I didn't want to sell all my equipment and net out of this thing. Or they get to see Dad weep as people come buy the tractor and they buy the pumping equipment and they buy the tanks and they buy all the stuff. But they got to see Dad go for a walk with a few cows that he had left there with the field that will still be our family field. And unless I'm crazy, I don't know another path in front of me. And you decide, okay, I'm thinking about the family I have that side that was dairy farmers, and now they've got some kind of grasses growing where it makes it. I don't understand what they pivoted to, but they're still farmers. They still got fields out there. They're just not doing the thing they were doing for a long time. And that seems like the choice ahead of you. And I could start crying here thinking about some guys in suits showing up from New York to take your 500 plus acres from you and your little girls. It can choke me up with get rid of a tractor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know I'm being dismissive, but I'm trying to say you don't have an easy path ahead of you. You got 2 hard paths. And if you've ever heard me talk about shame, guilt is I did something dumb when I took out the extra $600,000. That was dumb. I did that. Shame as I am dumb. I'm stupid. I crashed this farm. And I don't think you crashed the farm. I think you were batting cleanup on a lineup that kept handed you tough situations to try to win that game. And then
We'll say both columns.
okay, so fair enough. So what's your next right move?
You have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to do what John said, and although it's going to be painful for you, you have the opportunity to start something brand new and do it the right way. And I think that that's what your daughters are going to take away from this is plenty of us make mistakes. We do it the wrong way. But what differentiates it as a win is you get back up, you start again, and this time you learn from your mistakes and do it the right way.
Yeah. Adam, this is a big one. We're not going to be able to solve this one here. Hang on the line. I'm going to hook you up with both of my books here for free. I want you to have something that you can read while you're sitting there on the back porch looking out over the field and distract yourself a little bit so you don't have to spin it out. But you've done the math. You've sat with the bankers. You've sat with the debt repayment note right in front of you. You know that the math doesn't work. And the next step is going to be pivotal to what comes next for, again, the next few generations. And given what you told me in this short conversation, I tell you to sell the equipment and unload as many cows as you can and clear that 1.2, get the banks paid off. You're sitting on family property, and when the dust settles, you figure out what you're going to do next. But then I would encourage you, don't because of ego and pride and shame, don't let them come take everything. Because God knows they will. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for your bravery. Thanks for being vulnerable in front of all these people. There's countless men and women sitting right where you are at their homes trying to figure out what to do next, and it's pride, ego, and fear get in the way of choosing the next hard right move. So I'm proud of you, man. Call anytime of the week. So it's in Denver, Colorado, and talk to Andrew. Hey, Andrew, what's up, man?
How are you? Thanks for taking my call.
We're good. What's up?
Hey, a little backstory. About 6 months ago, I took a new job. Went from about $150,000 a year down to $120,000. A job I took didn't quite work out, fortunately. And so I've been looking for the next move, and my wife and I explored moving to a state away and going to work for an old customer, my old employer. And I'm talking to them, I think this morning actually. And we talked a little about what it would take to move out there. And then about an hour after I hung up the phone, I got a call from a competitor here locally for a pretty generous offer, about $200,000 a year to stay. And so I made my wife and I have kind of gotten jazzed about the idea of moving, stayed away, going on a little family adventure. And then I got a call saying, hey, we'll pay you a bunch of money to stay. So my question is it, okay to go back to the company I'm talking to straight away and say, hey, I just got another offer to stay here, and you match it, or is this just a decision we've got to make as a family, saying, hey, are we going or are we staying?
I would definitely go back. I mean, you're seeing what your value is in the marketplace, and so I think that it's fair. This happened, and it's great that your current position offered you more. So yeah, go back to who you were talking to and say, listen, I just got this offer. And I'm not trying to play you, but it's enough to make me stay. And I really want to come work for you if you can match it. And just start talking. Because there might be other ways that he can match it in value, maybe not so much in salary, right? There might be creative ways he can make this work.
That's a great point. Okay. You just frame it just like that. Call right back and say, hey, I know it sounds uncanny, but I just got a call 10 minutes after we hung up.
Honestly, I'd call him laughing. Like, you're not going to believe this, man. I just got one dropped out of the moon. And they're often bananas money, so me and my wife have to work through it. Tell me what your final is.
Okay.
And listen,
that's good,
if he looks at you, if he talks to you on the phone and says, how dare you? You're playing me, punk, then you just dodged a bullet like the Matrix.
That's true.
And if he laughs with you and goes, God, I hate business. Let me go back and see what I can do, man, because we really want you here. That's a guy I might take less money for to go have a family adventure with.
Rock on. I love it.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Makes a lot of sense.
And Andrew, I'll tell Andrew, Jade, what we tell everybody. If you're good at what you do, there's always going to be somebody calling. There's always going to be opportunities. And so at some point you have to settle into what kind of life do we and our family want to live. And the dollar amount is a part of it, but it can't be the end all be all.
Yeah, it's a goalpost. The goalpost is always going to move, and you have to make the decision at some point to go, I'm content. Yeah. And I'm good with
Or what
this.
field do we want to put that goalpost on? But man, we got to make a life that we want to have.
Yeah.
An extra 20, 30,000 bucks when you have enough, it's not worth it. This is the Ramsey Show.
Listen, tickets for the Live Like No One Else cruise are selling fast. This is the ultimate debt-free vacation, and I can't wait to celebrate with all the folks who've worked their butts off and changed their family trees. We will be sailing through the blue waters of the Caribbean with the Ramsey personalities and other special guests. A bunch of cabin options are already sold out, so hurry and reserve yours with a $600 deposit today at RamseySolutions.com/events.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, and I'm looking out into the lobby at all the beautiful people, and on the debt-free stage, we have Taylor and Meredith from Huntsville, Alabama, on the debt-free stage. That means you must have paid it all off. How much you pay off?
Oh yeah, we paid off about $220,000.
Whoa! How long did that take you?
So a little bit over 7 years.
Gosh, y'all kept going and going, huh?
Yeah, as well.
200. All right. So what kind of debt was this 220?
It was our house.
Wow!
Touchdown!
Dude, congratulations.
And student loans.
Student loans and was the mortgage bigger than the student loans, or the other way around?
The mortgage was bigger, yes.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Very, very cool. What's the house worth?
So the house now is probably worth a little bit under 400.
Let's go. I love it. I love it.
All right. What in the world was going on in your life 7 years ago that you said, let's just suck it up and get this thing done?
Yeah, so we're recently married, probably a little bit over 7 years ago, bought a house, had some student loans. I'm an engineer, a little bit of a numbers person, and just saw what we would pay in interest over time, and really just wanted to attack the loan to give us a little bit of financial freedom eventually.
It's a lot of financial freedom eventually.
See, when you said I'm a little bit of a numbers person, your wife smiled a bit as though your bedroom is wallpapered in spreadsheets. Yeah. You said that in it's not great. Lots of Excel. All right, so you sat down and like a good engineering nerd, you said, honey, look how much interest we're going to save. And how did you receive that?
Not so well at first. I agreed with everything he was saying, but it was more difficult putting it into practice for me, I think, just not spending money and saving and putting it towards the house versus maybe going shopping sometimes.
Sure, because that's not normal, right? Like, it's not a normal practice. Most Americans aren't saying, you know what, I'm going to actively pay off my mortgage today. So in that way, you're kind of going against culture. What were you earning when you were doing this?
So we started out probably around 80,000, kind of first out of school, and Meredith graduated a couple years after I did, and now we're around 230.
230?
Wow.
Wow, you guys kicked it into the highest gear.
Yeah, and I mean, just one thing with that, during this period of time, Meredith's had multiple jobs. At one point, I think she had 3 jobs.
Wow.
Currently, she has a full-time job and then also a side gig. So she's really just attacked this and done a lot with 2 kids as well.
I was going to say, there's also 2 little ones over there also.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, how did you guys play this? Because, part of it was a student loan, which, by the way, how much was this student loan?
I think it was around 40,000 total.
So you guys went into high gear for the student loan, and then usually people would kind of take their foot off the gas and kind of be like, okay, we've done this, we're going to save up our emergency fund, and then we're going to kind of lay back a little bit and kind of be more intentional about paying off the mortgage. Something tells me you guys were like, no, we're going even harder. Yes?
I think we definitely took our foot off the gas a little bit.
When we had them, we we kind of halted a little bit on the extra payments. So it took us maybe a little bit longer than it would have to save for them as well for college and things like that. But
we bought a minivan during that time, so Meredith now has a minivan, and just lived a little bit, a lot of trips, a lot of things with the kids. So I'm very fortunate in a lot of that.
Yeah, we live in a culture that wants everything right now. You have this big motivational speech night where you turn all the lights off and you light the candles and light the get the essential oil diffuser going, and you show her these spreadsheets, and you'll have this big kumbaya moment, and then our culture tells us that everything needs to be fixed for the next day. What would you tell somebody? We'll get to the keys to getting out of debt here in a minute, but I'm more fascinated by y'all hammered away this thing for 7 years. And we have a culture that just doesn't do that anymore. When it comes to weight loss, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to any sort of any goals. We have people coming out of school with their first year of their bachelor's degree wondering why they're not making 6 figures. And they like, what would you tell somebody is the key to just simply sticking with something over time that long?
I definitely had to learn that lesson. Right when I came out of college, I bought a truck. So with a loan, and then eventually paid that off years before we started this. But delayed gratification is something that I've definitely learned over time. To in the back of my mind, the main thing is how can we help our kids?
So you have this Y down the street, right? It just keeps pulling you along. Right? What about you?
I'd say I still struggle with delayed gratification a little bit, but yeah, I agree. Just knowing like the reasoning behind it and looking forward to what's to come is the motivation.
So how'd you celebrate?
We really haven't yet.
What? I need a cruise. I need you. Listen, to live like no one else cruises. It's still available. But anyway, I need you guys to have a milestone. So if you could do anything, what would like a big trip or a big celebratory moment look like?
So we're going to San Diego in October to kind of get for a little getaway. So that's somewhat of a celebration.
Well, y'all make it a big getaway. You make $250,000. You don't go anybody.
You need to go to Europe. You need to go to Tahiti. You need to go somewhere.
We want a lake house eventually. So that's what we're
all right.
Okay.
So, there's a guy who just got married, or a young bride who's still fit. She's got 2 years left in school. She just got married, and they're both realizing how much they're going to owe when they all get out. What do you tell them is the key to getting out of debt?
I'd say being on the same page, communication, working through the budget, looking at that constantly, and having a good discussion on where we're going to spend our money and what we need.
Yeah, I think knowing it's going to be hard during the process, but that you'll be able to breathe on the other side of it is motivational too.
So I want to hear that story. Paint us a picture of y'all hit send on that last payment, and there's like it's kind of cool. But then there's been days and weeks since then. Paint me a picture of what your life has been now that you don't owe anybody anything. No one can take your house. It's yours. No one can take your truck or your van. Paint the listener a picture of what that feels like.
It's definitely freeing. You feel more lightweight, like nothing's weighing you down.
Yeah, and I'm in the world of contracts and things like that, so those come and go, and it's good to know that if something was to happen to my work, that I don't have
you bought yourself a period of time, right? Peace. All right, so ready to rip this thing off? Gonna bring the girls up. We have Abigail and Emma.
How old are they?
Abigail is 4 today, and Emma is...
She'll be 2 in September.
Happy birthday, Abigail.
All right. So we have Taylor and Meredith and Abigail and Emma from Huntsville, Alabama. Paid off $220,000, including your house because you're weirdos, in 7 years. Count it down. Let's let your debt-free scream rip.
2, 1.
We're debt free!
hook you guys up with 2 Every Dollar gift cards that you can give away. It's a year of Every Dollar subscription. You can give it away to somebody in need, or you can use it for yourself. And Jay, this is how it's done.
This is how it's done. Picture perfect.
Picture perfect. 7 years slowly chipping away. Now forever, no house payment. And those little girls are never going to know money stress in that house.
Changing the family tree. That's what it's all about.
Amazing. If you're listening, yes, you can too. Be right back. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Today's scripture of the day is 2 Corinthians 8:11. Now finish the work so that your eager willingness to do it may be matched by your completion of it according to your means. Justin Timberlake says, you put out 150% and you can always expect 100% back. That's what I was always told as a kid, and it worked for me so far.
That's some different math, JT.
Yeah. He definitely brought sexy back, but he did not bring math back. He did not bring math back. Yeah.
I feel like that's a quote that Michael Scott would have on his office wall.
I think I'm gonna get this thing printed up and put in our suite back there. I can just see Dave walking down the hall and pausing to read it and compute it, and his inner calculator just starts smoking. Let's go out to New York City and talk to Daniel. Hey brother, what's up, Daniel?
How you doing, guys? Nice to talk to you guys.
We're doing great, man. How can we help, man?
So, I sent in an email. So basically, I'm 25. I have my own house, my second house. I'm financially successful. I got everything going on. And within my financial success, I would say about 95% of all my friends dropped me, left me, and I just have a girlfriend now, and I just very alone, depressed, don't know what to do.
So what happened? Where'd your friends go?
I don't know. I was just focusing on my business and doing my thing, and then after a while, I guess maybe they just felt envious or whatnot, but...
Were they jealous, or did you...
Or maybe stop calling them back?
Yeah, you didn't forge the relationship.
Not even. I mean, one of my friends I donated a car to, and then a year later stopped hearing from him,
So, what's one of the businesses you run? You say you're a 25-year-old entrepreneur, very successful. What kind of business do you work in?
Well, I own power washing and a shirt dubbing business.
Okay. So let's say you were working on a power wash job, and your
places.
How?
The truck has some extras.
You don't have any in the truck. What are you gonna go do?
Go to the store and buy some.
Okay. The store down the street's out. What are you gonna do? You gotta finish this job.
Or reschedule the job. Excuse me.
So here's what I'm saying. You're a very smart young man, and you're very driven. You're successful. And when it comes to your business, when it comes to honoring and your word and your commitment to a customer, you will keep finding solutions and finding solutions. And so my question for you is, why don't you love Daniel at least as much as your customer?
Maybe I'm so focused on everybody else, helping everybody else around me that I'm not,
I think it's deeper than that, man. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs across the country, and entrepreneurs become successful because they charge so hard. They can charge so hard because they've been running from something their whole life. Either I'll prove it to you, I'll show you, or this illusion, this false illusion that when I get this much money, or I get the next car, the next house, when I donate this thing, even giving can become that sometimes, then finally I'm gonna have peace. And every time they get there, Jade said earlier, the goalpost is, I'm gonna buy another house, I'm gonna get another car. I'm gonna give his car to my bro, I'll hook him up. He ain't even talk to me. So I'm telling you right now, in a weird way, you're lucky. You're finding this out at 25. Most people find it out at